Morning, everybody. Christopher Leon Johnson here. So happy Tuesday, the 19th of November of this 2024. Good morning, by the way. And I was planning on doing a video last night, but there was so much to unpack and comprehend and stuff like that. I had to not do the video because I was tired, while at the same time I didn't know what to say. My phone was gonna die, so I wasn't able to do the content how I wanted to do it. So I want to talk about this stuff right now. About first topic is the situation that happened yesterday at in Manhattan, where three people got killed. The three people got killed by this homeless guy that lived in a shelter, the Bellevue homeless shelter. He went out to the west side, then he went back to his neck of the woods, so-called neck of the woods, and did his stabbings. And unfortunately, 3 people are dead because of this. And I know that there's a lot of people that's pointing blame on the progressive elected officials, and these and the mayor and all these politicians. They should all be blamed for this because of great corruption that goes on with both the homeless industrial nonprofits, and the mental health aspect when it comes to these nonprofits, because people have to understand that there are certain nonprofits that specialize in mental health outreach, but what goes on is those organizations are getting phased out because of the homeless related nonprofits and the cure violence related nonprofits that has completely taken over the mental health aspect of outreach when it comes to government outsourced services. And this is my thing. People, I know Domestic Violence Awareness Month was last month in October, but we're in a new month. But people gotta understand that when it comes to domestic violence, those organizations are getting phased out. And the government has completely, meaning the city, the state, the federal, but let's say more locally, the city and state, because we're in downstate, and the governor has a downstate office at 633 3rd Avenue, right, 38th floor. But what goes on is the organizations, like when it comes to domestic violence and mental health, they are being phased out, and they are being reallocated. The money that's supposed to go to those organizations are being reallocated to the cure violence organizations. And people gotta understand that what goes on is the reason this happened yesterday was because for a lot of reasons. And people gotta really start throwing their blame to these nonprofits that are completely taking all this money from the state in mental health outreach and mental health services, while they don't do the job. A person, anybody that goes to a therapist or anybody that's seen a therapist know that if a person displays a threat to themselves or somebody else, they're supposed to be sent to a nut house, right? But these days it's not the case. The only way you're able to seek the help if you do something really outrageous. There's a lot of crazy people in the city, but the reason they can never be put in a mental institution because to keep it 100%, there's not a lot of money to hold them. Anybody in government will tell you that. That's what you do the hospitals, because the hospital organizations run these nut houses in the city, in the downstate area. Downstate is the 5 boroughs in New York City: Queens, Manhattan, Staten Island, Bronx, and Brooklyn. There's not a lot of money. These A lot of these hospitals are in debt, and to house and hold over a person for mental health reasons, it costs thousands of dollars a day. And majority of the times that they can't afford it. The only people that can really afford it are the insurance agencies. And the insurance may be doing Medicaid, or mainly Medicaid. They only pay for 2 weeks. They only pay about 2 weeks. So it's crazy. Unless you pose like a real danger to the people and like commit a crime, like a outrageous crime like murder or rape or kidnapping or sexual assault or something crazy like a crime, they can never commit you for over 2 weeks. So it's a lot of dirty, fucked up politics that go behind this stuff, and it's all about the money. Let's keep it 100% about yesterday. It's sad that it happened, but with a lot of people that's in the city that are mentally ill, and these days, just when you call something out, they will call you mentally ill. When you call out the government, they'll call you mentally ill. Trust me, I know how this game goes. It's really tough to really put the mentally ill and really hold the mentally ill accountable and give them the help they need. Like I said before, guys, like there's a lot of people need to blame for this. And we got to start looking at these nonprofits, and especially the nonprofit that oversee the shelter, that worked in that shelter, and because they are the reason that this happened. If, like I said, the majority of these nonprofits, especially if we do the homeless industry, the homeless industrial complex in the city, they're nothing but a scam. That's what they are. They're nothing but a big scam. This is all it does is line the pockets of the people on top, while the people on the bottom gets paid not a living wage, not a living salary. It's a lot of things that people got to stand about these homeless nonprofits, that majorities of executive directors make $500,000 a year, and they get $1 billion in contracts, and majority of these people on the board get paid under the table, and people that's in services get paid under the table. That's why they like to classify themselves as a nonprofit, because when you're a nonprofit, the law mandates that you only have to account yourself for 10% of the money. But people gotta start saying, where the hell is the 90%? Where the other 90% is going? Where is it going? Like I said, and another thing is that when it comes to the situation, that like I said, when it comes to mental health, these nonprofits, like the Housing Works and all these violence control organizations, what they do is they work with the politicians, mainly people such as Amanda Septimo, and people gotta start calling out Amanda Septimo more about this, because people gotta start saying, like, why in the state, when it comes to state government, they always use Amanda Septimo to push for these initiatives to take out, like when it comes to domestic violence, where let's defund all these domestic, like the ones that do the work, including Safe Horizon, and let's give that money to Jacoby SPU and Guns Down Like Fuck and I Brag Rebrag, or like 100 Suits and Kings of Kings and Life Camp and Elite Learners and Drum and all these care bombs over there. Why the hell they always, I'm in the church, but why they always use Amanda Septimo? Why they always use Amanda Septimo to push all the agendas for when it comes to nonprofits? You guys start asking that question. They always use her. It's crazy, right? They always use her to do it. So people gotta start saying that some of these politicians are really like some of them, and are really responsible for those people being dead, because what they do is, when it comes to mental health, mental health outreach, what they do is they'll say, screw this, fuck this, right? If it's $500 million at the governor Hochul will designate to mental health outreach in downstate, the 5 boroughs, these elected officials get a piece. They all get a piece of that. They give the money to the agencies, and then the elected officials get the rest of the money. They get a percentage out of the budget. Now, what these elected officials do is that, like, when it comes to that, these elected officials, mainly in the state, will allow, and they give some to the city, so the city council get some of that credits too. like the New York City Council, and the speaker, the controller, and the mayor's office, and the speaker, they all get a piece of the pie, right? That's how they do the budget, right, for mental health outreach. Now, these elected officials will say, "Oh, I got X amount of money in funding and grant giving that I'm gonna allocate to organizations for mental health outreach. How about you guys apply?" Now, if you're a real mental health organization, like an organization or a nonprofit, and you designate yourself in mental health outreach, right? Mental health outreach, and you know your goal is to help people who have mental health issues in the inner districts. I live in District 55, District 41, Congressional District 9. What's up, man? What's up? My apartment's right there, by the way. My apartment right there. But let's say if you are a real organization that's trying to do the right thing for your community, and you try to apply for the money, if you are not a bootlicker to these elected officials, like the Zelno Myries, and this is why I'm gonna call his ass out, because he was like, "Oh, like I'll get in that jackass later. I'll get into him later. A little jackass. I'll get into that jackass later." But if you don't bootlick these elected officials and don't do anything for them, like scratch their back and like give them money or give them some votes or make them look good at an event or make them stand next to photos at a turkey giveaway or anything like that, then you're not getting the money. And you know what happens is with the people that really apply for that money and they get the money are the corrupt cure violence organizations. The corrupt cure violence organizations and these so-called homeless organizations, they get all the money because they're the ones that knock on doors. They're the ones that give out the votes. They're the ones that donate to campaigns. They're the ones that do they do all the political dirty work for these politicians. So people gotta understand that what happens is the money that's supposed to go to really help these communities out doesn't go into the communities. They go to the same nonprofits. They go into the same old nonprofits, the same nonprofits that really help create the problem more. They do nothing. They do nothing at all. And people gotta start calling shit out. And people gotta start calling stuff out. And like I said, these politicians, they just as fucking bad too. Like they just as bad. And it's just disgusting. It's really disgusting of what occurred yesterday. Like I said, I give my condolences to the people that passed away, the 3 people that passed away. And you gotta understand, I spoke to JQ yesterday on JQLC on X. He was like, "Yo, I was lucky, man. Thank God I wasn't able to work in Manhattan today because he could have died that day." And I was like, "Yeah, you see how God? He don't believe in God, but I didn't want to say because he don't believe in God, but I said, look, I'll say on this. I said that's how God works. Sometimes you're saying like sometimes with God, when you get in situations where you want to get in that situation, you want to do things, and you don't do, and it doesn't happen to you. Sometimes that's God protecting you from shit and it's God protecting you from God protecting you from things. Like I said, I pray that it doesn't happen to my worst enemy, and I pray that it doesn't happen to anybody that don't like me. And I know that people in this shit don't like what I do, but I don't wish no harm on anybody. Like I don't wish no harm on anybody. I pray that the people that hate me and the people that don't fuck with me, they live their days where they don't get hurt. They don't get murdered on the street like that. Cause it happen to anybody. I'm in a park right now. It's like a walk down the shit, stab me in the fucking neck. But you never know. And you never know because it's just how it is. And with a lot of crazy people in the street, you never know like what can happen to you. So you gotta be careful. And sometimes it's not about being careful. Sometimes you gotta live it. You gotta know your surroundings. You gotta know your surroundings. You gotta be alert. And you gotta be alert. And one thing, like I work security. When I learned I work security is always watch the hands and always watch behavior. Because if you watch the hands and you watch behavior, that could save your life. It could save your life. It could really save your life. Always watch behavior and always watch behavior. Watch a person's body movement. And then wash their hands, because that could really save your life. It could save your life, because you could be like a person walking the street with a fucking knife in their hand or something sharp. It's best to run away. It's best to get out that person, especially if they not do. You can tell they're not right upstairs, or they acting erratic, or they you can tell they have like determined behavior. You got to get the fuck out of the way, and I tell people, get the fuck out of the way and call the cops, alert the authorities. I mean, that's what you got to do, because you never know what's going to happen. But like I said, that situation yesterday, it was really sad that it went down like that, because, you know, like I said before, I don't give a fuck you my worst enemy or you hate me. It doesn't deserve to happen to anybody. Like I said, these politicians, like I said, they should be held they should be held responsible for it. But to try to hold them accountable is like holding a fucking a serial pervert for being a pervert. It's fucking pointless, right? Because these politicians don't give a shit. What they will do is they'll probably have a vigil next week, vigil in a few days, or get the family have a vigil somewhere in the area. They might have a march. They might have a march because they might have a fucking anti-violence march. You never know. And what they're gonna do is hire these corrupt nonprofits. Like in Manhattan, you got Save Harlem. You have fucking mainly Save Harlem. They'll get all these corrupt cure violence organizations. The what's the shit? The Street Corner Resources. DJL7 know about them. Like they really corrupt. They'll get all these corrupt cure violence organizations and these corrupt fucking criminal justice reform organizations, and they'll fucking say that, oh, we need more resources. We need resources. I'm gonna tell you right now. Resources mean money. When they say resources means government money. Oh, we need more resources. Like I said, resources means government money. Government money. We need more resources for these communities, because without these resources, this is going to still keep on going on. Instead of people start, like I said, everybody knows the resources are already there. These organizations get $1 million from the governor, $1 million from the Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, millions of dollars from fucking all 5 DA, because some of them get fucking outside funding from the boroughs they fucking serving, like Queens DA Katz and Brooklyn DA my borough, Eric Gonzalez. They get millions of dollars, millions and millions of dollars of resources, millions of dollars of resources. And what happens is, look, they do nothing with the money. All they do is line their pockets up, pay their boys and gals, pay the side organizations they prop up and pay them off. And then what happens is nothing gets done, because all this is about fucking payoffs. You could be, let's say I set up a nonprofit. Let's say hypothetically I set up a nonprofit trying to fix the migrant, trying to stop this migrant shit Trump's trying to do. All I gotta do is set up a nonprofit or organization and team up with a nonprofit that gets government money, like La Cometa or Worker Justice Project, and start kissing their asses, and I'm getting paid too. So you gotta see, it's bullshit, bro. It's completely bullshit. Look, the way you gotta fix this shit is, look, you gotta bring back Kendra's. This is my opinion, right? You gotta bring back Kendra's law. Kendra's law is a law that was made to put anybody in a nut house that they feel is a threat to themselves or a threat to other people. Now, you need to bring back Kendra's law. You need to bring that back. And the thing about Kendra's law is, like, the reason they don't want to bring it back because they don't have the money to bring. They don't have the money to hold these people over. Like I said, the only people that can really afford this stuff is the insurance, like Medicaid, and the whole max they can hold you is 2 weeks. They can only hold you up 2 weeks. And the truth of the matter of fact is, like I said, the reason they don't want to really bring back Kendra's law, because now, since a lot of people get into politics and people waking up to politics and stuff, they think that Kendra's law might be exploited by certain people to commit the people that call these politicians out. And that's why I said, that's what I say. It's certain things, like I get it, because some people feel that they might exploit Kendra's law to start committing people that they don't approve of. And like I said earlier in the video, you could call they'll classify you as mentally ill. They'll call you crazy. They'll call you, they say you need therapy, you need help. Why? Because you call a fucking politician? That's what they do now. It's crazy. And some of these politicians, like I said, if Kendra Law would ever come back in the city or the state, will ever come back to the state, I think that certain of these politicians will try to exploit Kendra's Law to try to commit anybody that call their asses out on Twitter. They do this with the fucking gun laws, right? With gun laws where if you start calling the politicians out on Twitter, they can fucking red flag your ass and you can't get a gun because of your social media history, right? So we don't know what that's about. They might start exploiting, like, but if we bring back Kendra's Law. And certain thing we need to start doing is ordering these nonprofits, not just the homeless nonprofits, like the one that the man came from. We have to start ordering these cure violence organizations. We have to start ordering these so-called criminal justice outreach organizations, these so-called like these alternative sentencing organizations, because they all part of the problem. They're all part of the problem. Like I said, not just to cure violence, it's your alternative sentencing organizations like Innovation Justice that has a contract with the state court system. And what they do is they do this alternative sentencing bullshit where you can commit a fucking crime and the judge will say, all right, fuck it. Instead of you doing jail time for rape, you can go to our alternative sentencing program where you just got to go sit down and talk to a fucking mental health professional and you get away with it. People got to start calling shit out. It's a lot of things there's a lot of reasons those 3 people are dead. There's a lot of people that's behind these 3 people being dead, and they need to be held accountable for what they need to be held accountable. Like I said, it's hard to hold them accountable because all they're gonna do is do a march or a vigil saying that we need to fucking stop this. We need more we need more money to put into these nonprofits to help prevent the next 3 people being dead, to help prevent the next Ramon Rivera's and shit, the next Ramon Rivera's and shit like that. It's just like they know what the fuck they doing. They know what they're gonna be doing very soon. I know I'm media. I'm a press pass. I know this shit. I know the game. That's why a lot of these guys, they don't like what I do, because I know the game. The game is look. Somebody dies, media covers it, like the Lloyd Mitchells, the fucking D Moses, all these freelance photographers. They cover it. They get the fucking. I don't have time. I don't have the money and the car to go out there and take photos of perp walks, all that bullshit. I don't give a fuck. But they get all that stuff, right? And they give it to the media, they get paid. The Loud Labs, the Freedom News, they get all that shit, right? So they break the news. But then the politicians get the news and they make bullshit statements saying that, oh, I feel sorry that these people are dead, And then about 2-3 days later, they're gonna have a vigil or some vigil with all the nonprofits that they fund. And then they'll say that, look, oh, we sorry that these 3 people are dead, and to prevent the next Ramon Rivera's, we gotta allocate millions of dollars, and we need more resources. We need resources, which is mean money to stop the situation. And people gotta stand that, and it's crazy shit. It's just nothing but a fucking another grift, bro. It's nothing but another grift. And I know a lot of people watch my shit because they do watch my shit. They tell me they watch my stuff. That's why they can't do the shit they do, because I'm around. But like I said, people gotta start calling this shit out, man. And I'm media, I'm a regular person too. But people gotta start calling this shit out, because all this is nothing but an opportunity for these politicians and these niggas that run for state higher office to fucking promote themselves and fucking promote their ass and promote their boys and gals and promote nonprofits. That's the reason those 3 people are dead in this man's situation. Just like Jordan Neely, right? I know people might have their opinion about Jordan Neely, the way he got handled with Daniel Penny, but yo, that motherfucker Daniel Penny, Jordan Neely could be alive right now if he had the proper help. And sometimes that proper help is going to the right mental health professionals. That's not a part of the so-called nonprofit industrial complex. There's certain mental health professionals that I know that do the right thing, and they part of these mental health industrial shits, but they screw because they that's how they get paid. But there's someone that do the right thing, that's how they get paid. But majority of the time when it comes to mental health outreach, when it comes to these nonprofits, it's nothing but a grift. These nonprofits, they apply for the grants, and they get the grants because they well known in the city, they well known in the district, they well known in the neighborhood, they know well known politicians in the media, and they get the money, and they line their own pockets with the money. And they give if they say they gotta hire a mental health professional. And instead of them paying the $65,000, they'll fucking pay them $25,000 or $35,000 a year. Why they pocket $30,000? So if you guys start looking, it's a lot that we gotta start looking into when it comes to mental health outreach. Like we gotta start ordering these nonprofits, ordering the nonprofits. We gotta order these nonprofits. This start with the controls office. But we all know Brad Lander ain't gonna do shit because Brad Lander's wife runs a nonprofit in New York that oversees all the nonprofits. And guess what? Any nonprofit that's part of a nonprofit in New York and they apply for government money, Brad Lander co-signs it. Brad Lander approves it. So he ain't gonna call these motherfuckers out because he get paid to do it. He's getting paid to do it. And he's like, well, what do you mean he's getting paid? He's getting paid. Look, his wife gets all the money from these nonprofits. Whatever the money, let's say if they apply for a $20 million grant from the city government, right, or the city government, like $20 million contract. Now, whatever the money they get, let's say Meg, Brad's wife, who runs nonprofit in New York, might get 20% out of that $20 million. That's about $5 million, right? She get $5 million. She'll probably get $5 million in that money under the table for securing $20 million. Now, how much money is Meg paying off her husband under the fucking table? Because they live together in Park Slope. How much money Brad's getting paid? Probably millions fucking dollars out of those contracts. $1 million out of those contracts. But we all know he ain't gonna be, because we gotta like legally prove it. But them niggas getting paid for that shit. So Brad ain't gonna call these motherfuckers out. The solution is we gotta get a controller that is gonna do the job and call these nonprofits out for their bullshit. And we gotta start hold all these candidates accountable. Like, yo, when you control it, you go call these fucking nonprofits out for not doing their fucking job. Brandon, Raj Kumar, Levine, right? Those the only three. We had another one, but it's only those three running, right? That's the truth. And Parker too, Kevin Parker too, and Kevin Parker. I believe Kevin Parker will do the job. I think Kevin Parker will do a way better job than all three of those people. I think Kevin will call these fuckers out. Kevin don't give a shit. I think Kevin will call these motherfuckers out, and you can't intimidate Kevin like you can't intimidate Eric. So let's keep that real. So going forward, and one more thing about the DAs. I'm in the 30 minutes here. The DAs. Look, here's the thing, right? The DAs, they are really stuck in a rock and a hard place when it comes to really trying to stop the mentally ill from doing crime. I tell people this right now, right? I tell people this right now, right? The DAs are screwed, and I'll tell you why. Because the DAs can't do what they do because of the three provisions that has entered the system since 2020, and they're called, main one everybody cries about is bail reform, discovery reform, and speedy trial. Now, bail reform, everybody know about bail reform, and they tweaked it to take certain things out, but there's certain crimes you can still commit in a city, and you cannot be held on bail. They had to let you go. You got to get RRR'd. You got to get RRR'd. Now, the reason what goes on in court, the reason, let's say you get accused of a certain crime. The reason that they try to, let's say like a certain crime you commit, and it's sensationalized, the reason they try to overcharge people with certain things because they try to set bail. But majority of the time, if it gets to the right ADA or the DA sees it, like, yo, we got to downgrade this shit because it's not going to stick. But majority of these crimes cannot be bail eligible. That means you can commit these crimes, you gotta get let the fuck out. You gotta get let the fuck out, and the judge had to set bail. Like, they have to get the option of bail, right? That's the law. That's bail reform. When it comes to discovery reform, that's when the prosecution has to send you all the evidence they got against you. They got to give you all the evidence they have against you. You have the right to see that they give you all the evidence they have against you. But we all know how the game goes when it comes to discovery reform. If you get the wrong public defender, you're fucked. Because say you accuse a certain crime, let's say you know you didn't commit, and you didn't commit the crime, right? Let's say you got accused of a crime you did not commit. You got accused of a crime you did not commit. Now, you have a wrong public defender that's held or want a wrong 18B. 18B is like when they can't they have to, if you can't, if you get, let's say 18B, right? You and your mans get arrested for the same crime, you cannot have the same public defender. You can't have the same lawyer because of conflict of interest. So they got to point one you guys are 18B. If your lawyer is a piece of shit and he's working with the DA to fuck you, you fuck with discovery reform because they can hide evidence against you. They can give your lawyer the evidence that can get you sprung away. And the judge, let's say, I mean, if your lawyer is trying to be stay cahoots with a prosecutor, especially if the prosecutor's a fucking hot chick, or some of the prosecutors are fucking hot, in my borough, then you're fucked. So of course they might withhold evidence against you and shit like that. Withhold evidence against you, and that could fuck your shit up when it comes to discovery reform. But when it comes to discovery reform, they have to give all the evidence against. They have to give all the evidence against you. You have the right to see all the evidence they have against you. You have the right to see the evidence you have against you. The reason they're trying to get rid of that, when it comes to like the Brooklyn DA and the Bronx DA, the reason they really trying to get rid of discovery reform because they know, look, when it comes to discovery reform gives the people that they're not stupid. I'm not stupid. I get a situation, I want to know what they have against me. That's how if I had to plead something, I'm gonna see what the fuck they got against me. I'm not pleading shit. I'm taking a trial. Fuck y'all niggas. But fuck y'all niggas. But one second, let me see. Maybe 1 second. Well.